So Weathers. I don't normally say so Weathers. I normally say Bards. But Bards is not here. Bards, no Bards here.
There's no need for Bards. We can do without Bards.
Anyway, he's off sunning himself in paradise, isn't he?
Yeah, while we're freezing to death in Melbourne.
But what sort of bloke goes away in the middle of the football season?
Well, I did last year, so I'm not going to bag him. I dipped off for a month last season. Did watch every game from wherever I was, though.
I'm sure Bards will be watching as well on his two-stroke internet.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the South Pacific Island, sits a young Hawthorn as the surf. His native girlfriend died of death quite violent. A tribe would sacrifice her to the earth.
Well, guess what? You have to tell us the scores.
Hawthorn lots, Carlton not many. I'm 138 points, and that's about all you need to know.
Carlton, same goal scorer as Real Madrid on Friday night.
And outscored by Jack Gunston.
And in fact, if you wonder where all the Carlton supporters were, they were at the MCG. They were just watching a different game.
Well, it's one that I didn't go to, and I don't think you went either. And I think in hindsight that was a really good decision because you get more benefit going down to watch them train at Waverley Park during the week.
The next thing Bards normally talks about is the goal spread, and, it was just pick whether you kicked a goal or not. It really was a case of playing witches' hats, and that's about the extent of which you can talk about this game. Now, we have to give votes, and Bards handed over the ball to one of us, and I decided I'd prepare for this, Adam, so go with me on here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the basis for the votes. So 5 to Hawthorn. And remember, Bards gets in the stats, he tells you how many kicks and whatever they have. I give 5 to Billy Hawthorn, great game, and he's the poster boy of Hawks One Eye View. Simple as that. I give 4 to Paul Piopolo, because what bloke sits on the bench as the sub in a game like that, comes on, after Spenger does a hamstring, kicks 3 goals in about 3 minutes. 3 to Gunston, just because Bards would be disappointed if we didn't give someone for 6 goals. 2 to Luke Hodge, because just as captain he just commanded the field. And of course, 1 to Sammie Mitchell, because Wayne Carey reminded us he was playing.
How can I forget you, girl? And there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me.
Yes, well, now we know that Bardslow votes are a joke because you completely overlooked the best player on the ground, and that was Jordan Lewis, but don't worry about that. Sam Mitchell wouldn't get a game for 17 other clubs, probably wouldn't get a game for half of the VFL sides either. Old, fat, slow, 35 useless possessions every week. Would make, seriously, just about any AFL team's team of the century. Would be, in my opinion, in the top half dozen or so Hawthorn players of all time. And the Duck conveniently overlooked the first 3 or 4 years of Sammie Mitchell's career where he was fat and slow in a very, very poor Hawthorn team that was very much like the Carlton team of Friday night, where Sam Mitchell stood out like a beacon, stood out for the superstar that he was going to go on and become.
Come on, we all know the Duck was just trying to make something of the night because ratings were going to plummet.
Yeah, but let's not say stupid things. Leave that for the Basil Zemplises and Dwayne Russells of the world. Duck's a bit better than that. He should be above that, being the AFL icon that he is.
I did love the Twitter handle that started. I think it was something like the stupid things Duck says or whatever.
Things that says Paddy Dangerfield.
Yes. And Paddy Dangerfield's one where Sir Donald Bradman wouldn't get a game for Bangladesh.
He might be playing for Hawthorn next year, Paddy Dangerfield. He's a good man.
That would be very nice. That rumour is circulating and getting people excited, isn't it?
He'll just make a joke of the AFL. Look, I would love Paddy Dangerfield to be playing for Hawthorn, but I think for the good of the game he should stay in Adelaide. If he comes to Hawthorn, it's all over. They might as well lock up and throw away the key on next season.
Oh, well, we can only wish and we can only hope. And look, as much as we don't want to do this to the Duck because he's a reformist of sorts, we have to put him on the wall, so here we go.
Well, they blew the horns, and the walls came down. They'd all been won, and the walls came down. They stood there laughing. They're not laughing anymore.
Now, Adam, more importantly, the big game Friday night at the $4 shop, the MCG, $7.50, Hawthorn versus Richmond. And big news, you'll be on the ground.
We're not talking about me. This is not about me.
Yeah, but people got to look out for you.
This is not about me. This is about the Hawthorn Football Club bigger than one individual. This is not about me.
Anyway, if you want to know what Weathers looks like, he's one of the blokes that is going to be flying the flag out on the ground before the game. Look out for him. It's not about him, though.
We hide behind the anonymity sort of vocal media. Don't be looking for Weathers on the ground. Weathers may not show up.
They'll have to guess which one you are out of 20 people with large flags.
Let's not worry about Weathers on Friday. Let's worry about Hawthorn and Richmond.
Well, Spanger, he's out. Who's in?
Well, Frawley will come in. He got through Box Hill last week, and I think they will want to test him out well before the finals to see if the shoulder holds up. So I think he comes in.
And O'Rourke, does he get another game, or do you bring Anderson in?
Gills comes in for O'Rourke, I think. Anderson's a chance. He's been best on ground last couple of weeks at Box Hill. Kicked 6 a fortnight ago. I just don't know who misses out to give him a game at this stage, because you've also got to fit Taylor Duray back in the side, and the other guy that'll be stiff to miss out if and when that happens will be Litherland.
No, Suckling. Won't they finally get rid of Suckling?
Suckling has information that Clarko doesn't want leaked out to the public, and therefore gets a game every week.
Excellent.
Photographs, yeah.
I can't see any of Hartung, Smith or Hill going out because we need the pace. So, a couple of questions for you. Who plays on Rewalt?
I think it'll be one of those cases where Lake will get him if he goes deep, and I think Frawley will pick him up if he roams up the ground, and it could even be somebody like Stratton track him up to the wing, but I don't think Jack's going to see a lot of pill. Just think we're structured up that well in defence, and we get numbers behind the ball and then break and run so well that I don't think Jack's in for an easy night.
Cochin, do we worry about tagging him?
Depends really on which Cochin shows up, and you'll know early. The Cochin that gets the ball and chips it sideways, well, he can have 50 possessions for all I care, but if he gets it and looks dangerous, you put someone like Shields on him to lock him down and then try and hurt him the other way, but I don't think we should worry too much about going too defensive with Richmond. I think they've got to worry about our midfield.
Do we play Poppy on ramps? Defensive forward on him?
Wouldn't bother. Honestly, wouldn't bother. I think we've got that many options up forward that, again, let them worry about us.
So, are you as confident as everyone else, or are you like me and think this is one of those games that is finally going to test the Sweaters?
Oh, I think this will be a bloodbath. I think Hawthorn will win by 12 goals plus.
So that's your official nearest to the pin?
4!
Yeah, 77 points.
All right. Well, I'm going to go
4!
37. Close, but not that close. Oh, hang on. I forgot something last week, and that was the Adam Wedlock medal for the second test. Got 5 votes for us?
5? Well, I think it's 5. 5's a little bit difficult in an 11-man team, but I've got 3 votes. Smith clearly was man of the match. I think Rogers gets 2 votes. And I think I had, from memory, Mitchell Johnson in for 1.
Excellent. Well, we've done our job. We're off to watch the third test. We've been recording this through lunch. So, go Hawks.